Let's begin with Japan's light tanks and tankettes, the heart of Imperial armor doctrine. Type 95. Heigo. The Heigo was the most produced Japanese tank, seeing action from Manchuria to the Pacific. Its 37mm gun and thin armor made it deadly against infantry, but hopelessly outmatched by Allied armor. Type 97. Chiha. The Chiha served as Japan's primary medium tank, though its 57mm gun and riveted hull barely qualified it as such. It fought on every front, a reliable workhorse facing increasingly superior opposition. Type 97 Shinhoto Chiha. The Shinhoto Chiha mounted a high-velocity 47mm gun in a larger turret, Japan's answer to Chinese and early Soviet tanks. By the time it reached production, Shermans had already made it obsolete. Type 89 Eigo. The Eigo was an interwar relic with riveted armor and a diesel engine lumbering into China at walking pace. Its 57mm gun remained effective against fortifications, even as tank combat passed it by. Type 1 Chihei. The Chihei featured improved armor and a more powerful engine, finally addressing the Chiha's shortcomings. Too few arrived too late to change Japan's armor fortunes. Type 3 Chi-Nu. The Chi-Nu mounted a proper 75mm gun capable of threatening Shermans, Japan's belated recognition of armored reality. Most never left the home islands, reserved for an invasion that never came. Type 4 Cheeto. The Cheeto represented Japan's attempt at a true medium tank with sloped armor and a long-barreled 75mm. Only a handful were completed before war's end, impressive on paper, but absent from battle. Type 5 Chi-Ri. The Chi-Ri was a 37-ton monster designed for homeland defense, mounting both a 75mm gun and 37mm autocannon. This desperate innovation never saw combat, remaining a what-if of Japanese armor development. Type 94 Tankette. The Type 94 was a tiny two-man vehicle, armed only with a machine gun, resembling a motorized pillbox. Despite its limitations, thousands served in China and Manchuria as mobile firepower for infantry. Type 97 Taikei. The Taikei was an airborne tankette light enough for transport aircraft, armed with a 37mm gun. Its paper-thin armor made it vulnerable to everything, a desperation vehicle for desperate operations. Type 2 Kami. The Kami featured detachable pontoons transforming it into an amphibious tank, perfectly suited for island warfare. Once ashore, crews shed the flotation skirts to reveal a standard light tank underneath. Type 3 Kachi. The Kachi resembled a submarine more than tank, fully enclosed for deep water crossings with a snorkel. This ambitious 29-ton amphibious design arrived too late for offensive operations. Let's continue with Japan's tank destroyers, assault guns, and self-propelled artillery, where necessity drove innovation onto repurposed chassis. Type 1 Honei. The Honei mounted a 75mm field gun on a Chiha chassis, Japan's first true self-propelled artillery. Its open-topped fighting compartment left crews exposed to air attack and shrapnel. Type 1 Honei 2. The Honei 2 added armored shields around the gun compartment, protecting crews from small arms fire. This enclosed design became the template for subsequent Japanese assault guns. Type 3 Honei 3. The Honei 3 refined the formula with better angled armor and improved crew protection. It served primarily in the Philippines, engaging American armor from defensive positions. Type 2 Hoei. The Hoei carried a short-barreled 75mm howitzer designed for bunker demolition and infantry support. Its low-velocity gun made it ineffective against enemy tanks, but devastating against fortifications. Type 4 Horo. The Horo mounted a massive 150mm howitzer on a widened Chiha chassis, creating a top-heavy beast. This self-propelled artillery piece could level buildings, but crawled at barely 20 km/h. Type 5 Hori. The Hori represented Japan's answer to German casemate tank destroyers. with sloped armor and enclosed design. Most existed only as prototypes when surrender came, never facing enemy armor. Next up are the desperate improvisations, mounting captured and adapted weapons on any available chassis. NATO. The NATO married a 75mm anti-tank gun to the Chiha chassis in open-topped configuration. Few were completed before war's end, another promising design arriving too late. Type 4. Katsu. The Katsu combined amphibious capability with a 75mm gun for beach defense operations. Its hybrid design reflected Japan's island warfare priorities and dwindling resources. Type 98 20mm ATA. The Type 98 mounted dual 20mm autocannons on a half-track chassis for airfield defense. Its high rate of fire proved effective against ground targets when American air superiority eliminated aerial threats. Type 4 15mm ATA. The Type 4 carried a 150mm gun adapted for anti-aircraft use on a tracked platform. This makeshift system defended Japanese cities during the final desperate months. Type 5 NA. The Type 5 NA attempted mounting a naval 75mm gun on tank chassis for coastal defense. Only prototypes existed when the home islands awaited invasion. To compensate for inadequate tank armament, Japanese engineers mounted increasingly powerful guns on whatever chassis remained available, creating hybrid weapons from scarcity. Let's begin with reconnaissance vehicles and armored cars, the eyes of Japanese forces across Asia's vast and varied terrain. Type 93 armored car. The Type 93. Sumida rolled on 6 wheels with barely enough armor to stop rifle rounds. Its open-top turret and 6.5-meter machine gun made it obsolete before China's planes hardened its crews. Type 92 heavy armored car. The Type 92 featured a fully enclosed turret with a 30mm machine gun for cavalry reconnaissance. Despite its heavy designation, American .50 caliber rounds punched through its hull with ease. Type 2597 Chiha. The Type 2597 Chiha mounted 6 wheels and a turret borrowed from light tanks for better firepower. Its decent cross-country performance made it valuable for Manchurian operations where speed mattered more than protection. Kurogane Type 95. The Kurogane Type 95 was Japan's iconic military motorcycle, a compact 4-wheel drive vehicle, small enough to navigate jungle trails. Officers and dispatch riders relied on its nimble handling across terrain that defeated larger vehicles. Rikuo Type 97. The Rikuo Type 97 copied Harley-Davidson designs under license, creating Japan's heavy motorcycle with sidecar. Military police and reconnaissance units rode these throughout occupied territories, their distinctive rumble announcing Japanese presence. Next up are the trucks and transport vehicles that kept supplies flowing across the empire's overstretched logistics network. Type 94 6-wheeled truck. The Type 94 was Isuzu's workhorse with 6-wheel drive for rough terrain mobility. Thousands hauled ammunition and supplies from Manchuria to Burma, grinding through mud that immobilized lesser vehicles. Type 1 4-wheeled truck. The Type 1 represented Toyota's contribution to motorization, a simpler design for mass production. Its rear-wheel drive limited off-road capability, but proved adequate for road-bound logistics columns. Type 97 truck. The Type 97 featured Nissan's diesel engine for fuel economy during resource-scarce operations. Military planners valued its reliability even as Allied air power turned highway movement into suicide. Hoki APC. The Hoki combined half-track mobility with armored protection for infantry transport under fire. Its open-top design left passengers vulnerable to air attack and grenades dropped from above. Hoha APC. The Hoha offered fully tracked mobility with enclosed armor, finally protecting infantry during assault operations. Too few reached frontline units to influence Japan's increasingly defensive posture. Suki. The Suki mounted massive screw propellers for amphibious operations, churning through water before transitioning to wheels. This ungainly hybrid reflected Japan's obsession with crossing every type of terrain its island empire demanded. Continuing with specialized vehicles that reveal both innovation and growing desperation as resources vanished. Daihatsu-class landing craft. The Daihatsu class carried troops and supplies across countless Pacific invasions with its simple bow-ramp design. More than any tank, these humble boats defined Japanese amphibious doctrine throughout the island campaigns. Bicycles. Bicycles powered the silent invasion of Malaya, thousands of troops pedaling through jungle roads faster than marching. British commanders never anticipated the speed of Japan's two-wheeled advance down the peninsula towards Singapore. Let's continue with artillery tractors and logistics vehicles, the unglamorous backbone that moved Japan's guns and supplies across a crumbling empire. Type 98, 4-ton prime mover. The Type 98 4-ton prime mover towed field artillery across China's dusty roads with its tracked chassis and powerful diesel. Its open cab left drivers exposed to strafing runs that decimated Japanese supply columns. Type 1 Hoki tractor. The Type 1 Hoki tractor combined half-track mobility with cargo space for ammunition and gun crews. This versatile vehicle served double-duty hauling supplies and towing artillery into firing positions. Type 95 mini tractor. The Type 95 mini tractor earned its shovel-nose nickname from its distinctive front-mounted blade for light engineering work. Compact and reliable, it hauled small artillery pieces through terrain that defeated wheeled vehicles. Type 98 Take. The Type 98 Take resembled a miniature tank but carried ammunition instead of weapons in its cramped hull. These tiny tracked boxes shuttled shells to gun positions under fire, essential yet vulnerable. Isuzu Type 94 Truck. The Isuzu Type 94 truck formed the backbone of Japanese logistics with its simple construction and adequate payload. Maintenance crews kept thousands running on scavenged parts as factory production collapsed. Nissan 80 truck. The Nissan 80 truck hauled heavier loads than standard models, its reinforced frame groaning under ammunition crates. These overworked vehicles broke down frequently as spare parts vanished and fuel grew scarce. Next up are the specialized rail and waterborne vehicles that adapted to Japan's island geography and mainland rail networks. Type 95 railroad car. The Type 95 railroad car mounted light armor and machine guns for railway security operations in Manchuria. Partisans ambushed these vulnerable trains despite their thin protective shells. Type 97 Shitotsu railroad car. The Type 97 Shitotsu railroad car featured heavier armor and a turret-mounted gun for railway assault operations. This armored train car fought along China's contested rail lines as mobile firepower. Daihatsu-class variants. Daihatsu-class variants multiplied into specialized versions carrying tanks, artillery, and cargo across island chains. These workhorses made more amphibious landings than any other Japanese vessel. Wooden boats. Wooden boats replaced steel landing craft as aluminum and iron vanished into aircraft production and melted infrastructure. These fragile vessels leaked and splintered, but kept supplies moving between islands. Pack horses and oxen. Pack horses and oxen replaced trucks when fuel supplies evaporated during the final desperate year. Japanese logistics reverted to animal power as mechanization became an unaffordable luxury. Continuing with the darkest innovations, weapons of desperation that transformed vehicles into suicide delivery systems. Shinyo suicide boats. Shinyo suicide boats packed explosives into small motorboats piloted by single volunteers against invasion fleets. Thousands waited in hidden coves for an American landing that justified their explosive sacrifice. Maruni suicide torpedo boats. Maruni suicide torpedo boats combined human guidance with torpedo warheads in plywood hulls barely seaworthy. These desperation weapons represented Japan's final vehicular evolution, from sophisticated amphibious tanks to expendable explosive boats.